So part of me embodying my character involves, asking questions like, well, what would she wear to run errands? Or what might she put on for date night or, an event, right? And of course, budgetary constraints aside, I was not going to be able to run out and purchase a lot of things. So instead, I decided let's pull from my closet and see what we can find, right? So, starting here with shoe choices, and you may or may not be able to see these very clearly, but when I think of Dominique, all this casual stuff here, right? Probably would not be in her wardrobe, right? Now, these more than likely, because they give a classy look, right? These probably, a nice little stroll along the boardwalk by the beach or whatever. Those wouldn't be bad. Then we get into this territory, and quite frankly, I doubt that she would wear this kind of material. Definitely that silhouette would be something that she would have tucked away in a corner. Definitely the color she would put on a red pump and wear it fiercely, I might add. But that particular material, that kind of suede material, I don't know. Doubt that she would have something like this in her wardrobe. I mean, it's fun, it's funky, but Dominique doesn't strike me as the type to go, I don't know. I just don't feel like that would fit. Same with these heeled kind of loafers. I mean, they would look amazing with the right pantsuit, and so they might be, but I would see her wearing something with a little more embellishment to it. And these certainly not. I love these shoes, by the way. Love them. Yes. But yeah. And then when we get up here to the summer collection, these, not so much. Not for Dominique. These definitely, they are a wrap style. Of course, you can see all the ribbon there. She would definitely wear something like that. I picture her with a kind of, 50s pinup queen kind of retro vibe going on. So those would definitely work. These, not so much. I love these shoes too. They make me walk like Betty Boop. And we'll ignore those. I've had these in the closet for I don't know how long. And they're good workhorses, as you can see here. I wear them a lot. But yeah, for Dominique, not so much. By the way, I'm wearing my Dominique-inspired silk pajama set. Yes, courtesy of my mother, but we won't talk about that. Okay, let's get back to this closet exploration. So again, we're channeling Dominique, and of course, I have a collection of corsets that I wear, not every day, but since we're playing dress up, so to speak, they will definitely be finding their way into my clothing choices at some point this month. Then we have another set silk pajamas, again, courtesy of my mother. Thanks, Mom. Had she known, right? But anyway, so these definitely for, as we're lounging. So let's talk casual wear, right? Now, Dominique would wear jeans, and they would be definitely, fashionable. I personally struggle with how much jeans cost these days when I'm looking at the different sites. Of course, you've got, your Target, your Walmart brands, and I can appreciate their price point. I just find it difficult to find jeans that fit me all the way around because at this point, menopause and pandemic and switching from a job that I kind of walked around a little bit more to writing full time, I sit a lot, and let's just be honest, I have not been exercising, so I've got a little girth around the midsection here. I've always been substantial, right? I've never quite fit any one size. I've never quite fit. I'm always like between sizes. So if I find a pair of jeans that fits me at the waist and the hips, they're either too short or way too long. If I find one that's long enough, then they're, super huge around the waist or whatever. So finding jeans has always been difficult for me. But Dominique would definitely wear stylish jeans. And so I've got these two that I bought from New York and Company. They're tall, and they're tall, skinny, and they fit me everywhere. I love the fit of these jeans. So anyway, I imagine her, this is for a casual day out, right? I imagine her with a good pair of jeans, and please excuse the wrinkles, a very crisp white button down. And it's fall, winter here. I live in the South, and so it gets cold, but not necessarily, oh my God, I need a coat, blanket, kind of cold during the day. And so I would see her pairing that with, a fairly substantial cardigan, and then dressing it up with a nice pair of loafers, or maybe, and this is a stretch, because I doubt that she would own such a casual looking pair of sneakers, but definitely a very white sneaker to set off the crisp white button down. And then of course she'd accessorize it, with some coordinating jewelry. I'm thinking silver and black. And that would be her, I'm just going to go run a few errands kind of look. And then, let's see. So, she definitely... Well, let's talk about her parties. As I mentioned, or as you may have read, the protagonist of this particular story where Dominique is introduced is showing up to let's call it what it is. Dominique throws adult, must be 25 and older, game nights, and she typically does some version of Truth or Dare. And it's not because she's trying to throw an orgy or, it's not for swingers, that kind of thing. Her main purpose is to expand people's minds when it comes to the idea of pleasure. And typically that involves some sort of stepping outside your comfort zone sexually, sensually. Now, these parties, as I said, they're not orgies, right? People don't typically get naked and have sex during her parties. The idea is planted, and I'm sure that in this fictional world, a lot of people who have attended her parties do then go home and procreate, or at least practice. And so, there is a definite theme to these functions, right? So I imagine her wearing something, long, flowy, not revealing per se, but definitely, you know, something silky, something shiny with a matching full-length robe. Those I am finding are hard to come by. Now, of course, I did find a couple linked or from Amazon, but I'm just not interested in sending more billionaires into space, and so I don't tend to shop Amazon. Would definitely like to be able to find something, you know, like somebody's department store or whatever. But it's also a matter of being able to try it on. Like I said, I don't fit conventional styles or sizes. And so for me, I have to be able to make sure it's broad enough in the shoulders, wide enough in the arms, long enough in the arms, and then long enough because while I'm not 6 feet tall, I tend to be taller than the average. So again, I want to find some place that sells them that I can go in, try it on, make sure it fits and flows the way I want it to. Because again, I have this really clear idea of Dominique and what she looks like. And so I want to be able to, you know, style and profile in that regard. Okay, so anyway, so that would be, you know, what I envision her wearing. Particularly in the scene where she's introduced, when she opens the door and our protagonist sees her. I just picture her in this gown with this beautiful kimono style flowing robe, all of it, you know, satiny, silky material. Okay, so Dominique does, not only does she entertain in her home, but of course she knows the movers and shakers in this town because quite a few of them have attended her parties on the down low, let's say. And so she does, of course, get invited to events and such, you know, in and around town, society kinds of things, right? And this one was a struggle, but I bought this skirt recently that I am in love with. And this was probably the closest I could imagine, in my wardrobe anyway, the closest thing to something that Dominique would wear, right? This skirt, it's I don't know if you can tell that on camera, I'm sure fake, but it's a silky, satiny material, much like the pajamas here. And it is floor length. The sweep on this skirt, when I walk in it, oh, as it barely skims the ground, I love it. I feel so elegant in it, even though it's not, quote, all that fancy, right? The houndstooth pattern is to die for me. I love that. But anyway, so I have this floor length skirt that I could picture, and unfortunately in my wardrobe, the closest thing I could come to a top for it was this kind of layered lacy piece. What takes away to me is Dominique would wear something much more dramatic, right? She's got that skirt on. The top, while it might not be very busy, might be a solid, would be so much more dramatic in the way it sat, the silhouette, if you will, of it would be so much more dramatic. And so what I picture, and I'll be sure to include a picture of it here, is this retro top, sheer top from Secrets and Lace. Oh my God. Just look at it. Just look at it. Now, can you picture that silhouette with, you know, a silky camisole underneath and the skirt? Yes, that I think would be what Dominique would wear. So of course I bought the shirt and it should be here this week. Okay, and then not necessarily least, whatever, however you want to phrase it. I thought about Dominique, and let's say she's got, it's not quite as dressy an affair, right? She's just going out, maybe it's date night. And I've got this dress. Again, black and white is the theme. Again, when I think of Dominique, I think of just some very classic pieces, not a lot of flashy color. She would add color, you know, later in accessories, if you will. But, you know, she's got this dress here. It's kind of a midi length. Again, it's ruched at the side, and so it gives her that hourglass shape that she is definitely known for. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of looks and things that I envision for Dominique. If you've read the book and you know the story I'm talking about, write in the comments below what you think she would wear. Include links and such, because I could stand to add 1 or 2 more pieces to the wardrobe. And in the meantime, hope you're having a great start to the new year. Really glad you decided to stop by and check out the video. Yeah, you know, like, subscribe. Oh, link in the description below to get your download so that you too can play along. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.